So many people are watching me. Okay. Hey guys, this is Jason with Fender Garage, and we are here in Gilbert, Arizona. We're in our shop and we're talking COYOTE swaps. And so one of the things we wanted to talk about COYOTE swaps is how to connect your steering column up to your transmission, and then also have your transmission work with your actual gauges. One of the difficulties we have when we're doing these in our shop is choosing how we're going to make a neutral safety work, backup lights, provide park reverse neutral drive on the Dakota digital gauges. And so what we've chosen to do for us is use the GSS 3000. And we sell a kit here at our shop where we sell the GSS 3000. Now, it's not just any kit. The kit actually includes a lot of little custom brackets that we've made that make this easy to install. Now, in the old days of the GSS 3000, you had this little pre-bent wire you had to make. You had to put it in the correct spot, and it was really difficult to kind of line everything up. And so you'd spend just forever readjusting, bending, trying to get it to sync correctly from right here up to the gauges. And so, but Dakota Digital improved it and made it a little simpler, and we also improved it even a little step further to make it easy to mount on your 6R80 or your 10R80 transmission. Whether it's 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, it's the exact same thing. So most of you guys have something like this, and we have a 6R80 transmission. This is from out in the bone pile. We use it for mock-up, but it'll be great for testing parts out on. So typically you've got this right here, and you're gonna have the cable from your Mustang will mount to here. And at the end of the day, you're gonna wanna take this off and remove it. So let me get this out of the way. We'll take this off. I've already loosened it up so that you don't have to see me struggle hunting for tools. And you just take that off and remove it. But you're gonna wanna actually save the nut because you're gonna need to reuse that. So in our kit, we actually have a new bracket. Now you can actually buy this bracket all by itself, but you can also get it with the kit. Now this bracket actually is going to go back on this right here. And it kind of has a hole that it actually sinks on. And you're just gonna thread that on right there. All right, and you get it tight, and now you're working in all the different gears right there, okay? Boom. All right, now, if you're just gonna connect up your steering linkage, we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but you'll just connect it to that. But what we're talking about is the GS 3000, and so then the question is, how do we mount it? So we've got another bracket that we supply that allows you to install this. All right, so right underneath here, you're gonna have some 8mm that you're gonna need to take off so that you can get that bracket on. Off. And they're going to be the two bolts that are one right next to this bracket and the one extending to the back of the transmission. And of course, if you're doing it on the truck, you're going to have actually a little more space to get your hands in there than I do. They like to set me up for a little bit of failure every now and then, make it look a little extra difficult. See me struggle. Okay, we got these just about off. All right, we're good. So now we've got this little bracket right here, and this little bracket actually is a dual purpose. One, it's actually going to hold our GS 3000 right here. But the next thing is, I actually want it to function as a stop. And I'll show you what I mean. So we'll get that on there. And then we've got these little spacers that give us clearance. And that's gonna go right on there. Yeah, let's see if we can get it started. Okay, now we've got this right here. You see this slides just a little bit. Now what this does is this actually stops us. So park, reverse, neutral, drive. And we actually want to stop it right in drive when we tighten it down. Now the reason why I want to stop it in drive is because that's about as far as you want to go if you're only going to be using it for cruising around. Now, maybe some of you want to go sport mode, you want manual operation, then you want to slide this out of the way, maybe put a notch in there to get it to go back into sport mode. But if you're not using the paddle shifters or setting up some buttons or whatever, you just want to stop and drive. There's no need to go into sport mode. So this will actually stop it so you're not going into sport mode right there. Then after you're got that all locked in place, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to install this right here. Now, because my hands can't actually fit underneath there, we'll go through some of the demonstration here. So in your hardware, you're going to get all kinds of like little brackets and different things that they sell to mount it, which most of them you won't need because you're actually going to have all that stuff included in your kit. Just all kinds of like little brackets for mounting it on a transmission. All right, so then basically what you have next is you actually have these little threaded rod that you would thread those on, and you have these little heim joints. And so the cool thing about this is that you'll put this on with your, well, I guess we could just do it like this, with these little nuts here, and you'll actually one's here. And you'll get these tiny little nuts that attach the heim joint. Now, you'll actually attach the other heim joint to here. So this will go right here. And then from there, you'll actually install this all thread that connects it. Now, you have these 3 locations. You're gonna mount this, and you're gonna install the all thread that connects into here. Now, as this continues to turn, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting this to where it's moving and it's reading up on your gauges, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and it's syncing. And that's adjusted by just adjusting the all thread to get that calibrated with this right here. The advantage to using the GS3000 is that if you're using Dakota digital gauges, one of the things that you struggle with is that if you have a factory steering column, you may want to replace it with like a Flaming River column, which we sell. And we usually sell them without the park reverse neutral indicator on the column. And the reason why we do that is because trying to align that up on the column and then trying to align this up here to all sync together is actually quite difficult. You'll spend all kinds of time just trying to bend the rod that connects here to actually get all that to line up, and it's virtually impossible. Not to mention it's a duplicate of what's already showing up on the gauges. And so we sell a column without the park reverse neutral indicator on it. Skip that, just get it working right here on the column shifter, and then this will actually provide the data that you need on your Dakota digital gauges. So it actually works out great. The other thing is on Fords, they don't actually have a great neutral safety switch for them. And so this actually can function as a neutral safety switch for you. And it also can act as reverse backup lights from your transmission, or that you would need to show that you're in reverse. And so this provides that data. So it actually can function 3 in 1. And it's a great, simple little thing to install and provide all the information to your Dakota digital gauges. So now we've talked about the GS3000. The other thing we're going to talk about is connecting to this. Let me grab our, where's it at? We sell a ton of these little kits. And this is a kit to connect from your steering column to this right here. Now, one might think, That's easy, but it's actually not. So one of the things that we do when we're connecting to the steering column, so if you can imagine, your steering column is probably about right here, and then it's got the little throw on it, that you've got to connect this and get this down to here somewhere. And so what we like to do typically is maybe get some welding rod or just like a little 1/8 inch rod. And what I like to do is I kind of like to bend that angle and then kind of like go back and forth a couple times just to make sure that this connects down here. Now, you can loosen all this up, and we could obviously we can install this super easy, just to kind of show you what that's like and what it looks like. So, and they got nylock nuts on there, so they stay pretty tight. But essentially what you're trying to do is you get your steering column to lock that in to drive, and then all the way to park smooth. And you'll have to create a little bit of a contour here to connect it, and you're going to need to spin some things. So you can install, we actually use these all the time. It is a stainless steel solid rod, and so you're not going to break it, but it also is difficult to bend, so you may actually want to, you know, make sure you're going to bend it the right way the first time. Now, I actually like to put this at the top, so for visibility purposes, I like to actually have the one without the set screws visible, and so we have a little bit cleaner heim joint at the top, and then we have this connect down at the bottom where there's a lot more stuff going on, and so it's less likely to be seen. So it's a pretty simple little product. You can actually buy this by itself. You can buy it with the shift indicator right here, and as one package. You can buy, I think you can buy the whole thing as one package as well, and get all this together. So there's a lot of stuff right here, and it's not actually super hard, but it is pretty easy to put it together. But at the end of the day, trying to make all this work, we've done this for transmission after transmission after transmission, and you're just kind of like, why don't we just come up with something that actually works once and for all? We keep redoing this, and redoing this, and so at the end of the day, we thought, let's just design some brackets and make it simple for us. And then the reason why when we make it simple for us, we think it'll also make it simple for you. And so that is essentially it. That's the GS3000, or I guess I call it the GS3000. And this is kind of the new improved with their all thread. So Dakota did a great job with that. And we've supplied a couple brackets that make it a little bit easier for you. And that's it. So basically head over to fatfendergarage.com or the link in our bio, and you can actually find this kit on our website. Like, comment, share, click the little bell if you want to be updated on all these additional videos that we'll be coming out with. And the new Fat Fender Garage product videos will be every Tuesday. We'll try to release a new one, provide tips and tricks and helpful hints for you to actually do your own COYOTE swap, or maybe we'll get some LS stuff out there for you as well. So with that, stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time.